Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This market recaps for Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. I'm going to start with the big eight market stocks, and this is for post-market close. Going to go over NVDA to start. Had blowout earnings. You should be looking at NVIDIA every day and be looking to get in at points. This is the one. This is the game changer. This is, Amazon at the start of the run. This is Microsoft back in the day. This is a game changer, and you should absolutely be watching NVIDIA and looking for pullbacks and trading for the next several years if this AI boom is really going to take off. And going back to the gold rush in California, a lot of the gold miners didn't make gold or make money. It was the picks and shovels guys that made all the money, selling to the gold miners. And that's what NVIDIA is. They're selling all the hardware for that fuels this AI growth. And I mean, their numbers were just magic. And the stock's going to be a winner for a long time. With that being said, it's popped up, closed to all-time high. Again, this is the after-hours price. And although NVIDIA is the anomaly, I'm still watching what the market breadth is doing and if that is going to transfer to the rest of the stocks in the market. Apple is getting the bounce, and I have been saying I've been looking for it to hit the 20 or the 50 and sell off. Amazon looks bullish now, bouncing off the 50. Had yesterday's candle where it hit the 10 and had a negative day, and now it's back up. Google looks like it's set to break out. Google looks strong. Meta planning on hitting the 20 and seeing what happens. Microsoft got above the 10 and the 20, is back at the 50. Netflix hitting the 50 and slightly pulling back. Tesla is probably going to bounce to the 50, I would assume. Might hit its head on the 20 right where it's at. The market, VTI, Total Stock Market Index, probably going to bounce to the 20 or the 50, and we'll see what happens. Tomorrow, or Friday, I think, is Powell speaking. So I'm waiting to see what that's going to do to the market. NVIDIA has fueled the bounce. Absolutely. And the market's going to be up tomorrow, Thursday. But is it enough to change the breadth from bearish to bullish is what I'm waiting to see. And I'm still on the sidelines. So we'll check the weekly summation. For the NASDAQ, still below the 5-week EMA, still below the 10. RSI, let me talk about this for a minute. RSI in the weekly has not fallen below 50. This is what's kept me from going totally bearish or short. And you can see, I'm just going to zoom in over the last, 5 years. You can see when we have a real pullback, I'll kind of zoom in here and get my charts to work. See how we hit the 50 and bounce, hit the 50 and go on a run. Then we really close below the 50 here and fall, and we get a run to the downside. We go back above 50 and we get this run. We get a pullback, it slightly dips below the 50, pops right back up, get another run. Pulls back to right at the 50 or just below, and we get another run. Here's the COVID drop where it falls below 50, and you get all of this, pops back up above 50, you get all this, the huge run in 2020 and into 2021. RSI 50, RSI on the weekly never falls below 50. Here you get a pullback right to the 50 and bounces again. And then here we get the pullback at 2022 starts right here. Goes sideways and then falls. RSI falls below the 50, 5-week falls below the 10-week. You get a slight, and then you're just below the 50 this whole run. Get a slight pop above the 50 here. Then we fall back down. RSI falls below 50, pops back up in January of 23 this year, right here. And then the run starts again. Small pullback here, no big deal. And then pops back up, and we get the run. Doesn't fall below the 50. This is a really good trend indicator. It's, you know, people don't like technical indicators on their charts, and they say they're for rookies, but moving averages and the RSI, I think they work great, and I use them. And this fall has kept me out, and I'm not bullish or bearish right now. I've been waiting for this to break 50, and looks like we might go back up. And if we do, I'll go bullish. When my market breadth indicators go bullish, my situational awareness goes bullish. Right now, this just looks like a bounce, but we're in kind of no man's land, right? We're going to bounce around, I think. And I'm looking for a solid bullish trend or a solid bearish trend. RSI has not fallen below 50. VIX has not spiked. T2108, stocks above their 40-day moving average, is bearish. Check the SPY. Same thing, has not fallen below 50 on the RSI weekly. I do this every time. I mean, I know it's kind of redundant, and I've been saying the same thing for probably 2 weeks now, but check the daily. This is a process. This is what you do. On the daily, RSI 21 trying to get back above 50. VTI is above both the 10 and 5-day moving averages. That's bullish. This, if it goes above 50, is bullish. And the VIX hasn't spiked. Check the NASDAQ. I screw that up every time. COMPQX. There we go. Trying to put RSI 21's trying to push above the 50. I use the longer term RSI on the daily. It gives good signals whether bullish or bearish. And NASDAQ is popping. We'll see how high we go. I don't know if we're going to break out to new highs or not, but this is a good segue to the market, my market breadth indicators. So even though we're popping, RSI has not fallen below 50 for a bearish trend. My market breadth indicators are bearish. So we'll start to the left. This is the shortest term indicator on this page. It's a very short term, 2-3 days. This one's bullish. They get longer as you go to the right, a longer time frame, and it's bearish, 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 bearish. Let's go to the first page. These first two are just daily indicators. How many stocks are up for 4% versus how many are down 4%? How many stocks that have above $100 million volume are up 3% compared to the ones that are down? So these are just for the day. And you've got bullish and bullish. 52-week highs versus 52-week lows, 2-to-1, bearish. Bearish, bearish, stocks above their 50-day moving average and 200 versus below, bearish and bearish. I want to trade when the wind's at my back or in my face. If by in my face, I mean I'll be going short. This is mixed. We're bouncing, but all my indicators are bearish. My summations, though, have not turned bearish, so that means I'm just sitting. I'm just gonna sit, and that's trading. If you want to be around, I mean, I can't trade every day and find good setups and find conditions where I know I'm going to make money. Your money, swing trading, will come in bunches, meaning you're going to make most of your money in a couple months. You might be sitting out for a while, you might be getting chopped up for a little bit, and then you're going to go on these runs, and that's when you're going to make your money. What I've learned is rather than trying to trade through all that, sit out, watch the market, make guesses on what you think the market will do, study. So with that being said, we're going to look at a study tonight. We're going to do something different. We're going to look at this scan, which is the weekly RSI above 69. Okay, power stock zone, as I call it. We're going to sort it by dollar volume. We'll change this back to regular hours here. Yeah, we can do post market. Sort it by dollar volume. So all these stocks are in the power zone that we're going to go through. And we're going to look at them on the weekly and see if they look good, and then we're going to look at them on the daily. Clear all flags and systems, so I'm going to flag these. So these are weekly charts. Obviously NVIDIA looks good. Adobe looks to be setting up. LLY is running. And we're going to look to see if these set up. This is a big breakout. BRT. XP. So we're kind of doing our initial scan. This one's been running for a while. It's APP, that's kind of flagging. That's a breakout. SAI consolidating. CLS, let's definitely look at this one. Look at these setups on the weekly. Like, look at this flag. 1, 2, 3 weeks sideways, and then boom. If you look for flags on the weekly, those work pretty well. Look at this one. Flag that. CAMT. Consolidating what was this? FTI. Fix. That's just running. Look on the weekly. Here's the breakout. And you've been running since. Low ADR stock, so it's only up 20%. But I'm studying the setup here. CNX. You get the breakout here, enters the power zone here, and keeps running. Same thing over here. Breakout here into the power zone, then it runs. MOD, we'll look at that one. AAOI. Here's the breakout, and it goes into the power zone. 40%. Let's take a look at that one on the daily. CIX, that doesn't look like a setup. It's one of my favorite stocks. BRBR, packaged foods. 2.73 ADR. We're not going to buy that anyway. HKIT. We'll look at this one too, but this is a great breakout on the weekly. And from here, It's up 155%, and it entered the power zone on this week. 70.53 on the weekly RSI this week, right there. And 150%. We'll look at this one too. I might just start trading power zone stocks regardless of breadth. RELY, we'll look at this one. APG consolidating, STRL consolidating, FTAI breaking out, MLTX consolidating, COUR, that's a flag breakout, DVAX, TSAT, we can take a look at that one. So what I'm going to do is mark these. Court, that looks good. And we'll go through them on the daily. VTEX, this, $6 stock, low dollar volume, but we'll look at it just to study it. Look, has a run, consolidates, tightens up, and then boom, goes into the power zone. We'll look at it on the daily. We'll look at this one. These new breakouts is what I'm planning on looking at. PAM, utilities. Look at LMB. Goes into the power zone right here on this week, 70. And stays above RSI 70. It's been going since March, 5 months. If you were a position trader, you wouldn't need to sell this for 5 months. You're up 181%. I love trading. You can build so much wealth. Iron, this looks good. In the power zone. Lots of stocks. If I traded one thing, or only could trade one thing, it would be stocks in the RSI power zone. Powell consolidating. Over, that looks good. Although that's just a pop. Yeah, $3 pass. That's not a setup. FOR. Low ADR. I mean, it's under 3. This scan, I didn't use any dollar volume criteria or ADR criteria. I just wanted to look at stocks above 70 just for a study. Stocks above the weekly RSI 70. But you see, here's the breakout. Goes into the power zone. Still in the power zone. 22%. Again, it's a low ADR stock. Just because it's in the power zone doesn't mean you buy it. It just, think of it as like this is your universe of stocks that you want to look at. And then you look for a setup. Pass on. I mean, it's running already. PFIE goes into the power zone this week. Again, it's only $2. I wouldn't trade this, but let's just flag that just to see if we can find a setup where it broke out. Now what, consolidating. ULBI, we'll just look at this one. Yeah, $1.8 million volume pass. We're getting these low dollar volume stocks, but we're just looking at setup. So DSP, we'll just look at this one. Yeah, these are just, nobody's trading these. Okay, let's copy these to flags, our flagged list. Sort by dollar volume again. NVDA on the daily. That is a breakout. All-time high. You can see where NVIDIA entered the power zone here. Has not fallen out. Well, except for right there. And then goes back up. Adobe, this is, you know, bumping its head on the power zone. This could break out as well. Here it is on the daily. Not quite a setup, but if it got over 550, that might be good. FN, this is just, this isn't a setup. It's probably had good earnings, kept going. VRT, breaking out of this bullish flag. Has a breakout, pulls back, tightens up, and boom. Wish I'd like to see bigger volume on the breakout, but that looks like a buy. Sorry, I had a little bit of an internet glitch there. My charts weren't populating. APP, consolidating. We'll look at it on the weekly. Flagging. CLS, great breakout. Above average volume. Solid uptrend. It's in the power zone. Look at this breakout on the weekly. It's 100% a buy. All the moving averages, even on the weekly, are in alignment. There's going to be some stocks, even in bearish markets, that go against some bullish stocks that go up in a bearish trend. Just look at the COVID stocks, Moderna, BNTX. Those went up huge during the bear market. CAMT, great breakout here. Doesn't close below the 5 and gets another breakout. Well, I'm kind of kicking myself. AAOI consolidating. This stock has run from $2.30 to over $15. That's 538%. HKit went into the power zone on 8/11, had a breakout. 8/11, let's find it. This week, right here. Right there. That day right there. Right here. Dollar volume was low. $155%. I might have to just start using my Vegas money on these. Just little trades. Little trades. FTA. It's up 4 days in a row, but these are tight days, and then boom. Again, I'm sitting out, but I like watching these breakouts. It's a good way to study. TSAT, big breakout, pulls back, boom. On, not very much volume. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have bought this, but the pattern looks good. But looking at stocks in the power, excuse me, in the power zone over 70, and then looking for a setup. Tight day, Small reversal candle, and then boom, buy this at the open. Court melting up. No setup with VTEX. NR. Breaking out of a long base, and then boom, on big volume. Look at this base. It's pretty much a year, you know, been basing for a month. Let's look at it here. Yeah, I mean, nice base. And then breakout here. Rover, that's not a setup. PFIE. Here's the breakout, goes into the power zone, shows up on the scan. Sorry, let me go back to that. That is 811 again. It's right here this week. This is the last day of the week. Here's the breakout. Notice when it pulls back, I mean, I would have definitely sold into this day here, some of it, most of it. Closes slightly below the 5, but never closes below the 10-day moving averages. These two averages keep you in the trade. That's how you make money. You stay in these trades until they sell you out. Take profits as you go. I would take profits today. And then if you get a couple days like this that are still above the 5-day, you know, buy a little bit back. And then it goes. I know hindsight's 20/20, but ULBI, this is a great breakout, bad day. And this is what I expect to see in this type of market. Ones like this. Dollar volume is very low. Only 200,000 shares traded. How many this day? 700,000. That's, we're getting in these, you know, low volume stocks. I don't like playing those, but I like looking at the setups. DSP, great setup here. Only 195,000 shares traded. What the RSI Power Zone does is create the universe of the stocks you should look in out of, I don't know, 6,000 stocks. Here's the 134 you should be looking to get into, looking for setups. And that's it, we're back in NVDA. So, market's probably going to be up tomorrow. I'm waiting for Friday, Jackson Hole, to see what's going to happen, and then I am thinking that the market is going to decide if it's going to go bearish or bullish. And again, you know, I'm going to stick to watching my situational awareness indicators, which are still bearish. If they turn to bullish and the RSI is above 50 on the weekly, I'll go bullish. If the indicators stay bearish and the NASDAQ starts to roll over, I'm on the daily here, and fall below the 50, I'm going bearish. For now, I'm just sitting out. It'll be exciting. It'll be an exciting couple days coming up here. And that's it for tonight. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe.